Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I want to take a moment and talk about 5 tips for improving a relationship that is struggling, or 5 things to do when your relationship is struggling and your goal is to improve or repair that relationship. Because, a lot of times relationships do hit a rough patch, and there are things that we can do that help make things better, as well as things that can make things worse. I shared that video already. So today we're talking about 5 things you can do to help make things better. But before I get into that, I want to take a quick moment and say, if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of our world of awesomeness. And if you're not yet subscribed, please take a moment and click the subscribe button below so that you can join all this awesomeness. And remember to tick the bell so that you are notified when I post new videos so you don't miss anything. And of course, if you'd like to purchase 1 or 3 of my books, also a link below that will take you to a site that shows you all your different options of places where you could get 1 or 3 of my books. All right, let's get back to it. First, admit that you're struggling. A lot of times relationships are allowed to continue down that road, that road of disruption or destruction, really. That road of destroying and getting worse because the people involved, no one is ready or willing to say, hey, we're having an issue. People keep coming up with excuses, coming up with things to avoid avoid acknowledging that the relationship is struggling. It's important that you can acknowledge that you're struggling. I always say, you can't fight an enemy that you are denying exists. In order to deal with whatever is causing the struggle in your relationship, it's important that you take the time and admit that, hey, we're struggling. We're not where we used to be. We're not where we want to be. We're not where we can be. Admit that you're struggling so that you can move on to the steps required to start repairing and healing your relationship. 2, notice and acknowledge the things that are working. When a relationship is struggling, a lot of times it's easier to focus on the things that are not working because sometimes those are the things that seem to be a lot more prevalent. And a lot of times when relationships are struggling, people are so much more willing to fall back on the things that the more difficult, the more negative behaviors, then they lean into the positive behaviors. So it's easy to notice that, hey, this is not working, that is not working, this is an issue, that is an issue. But there are things in the relationship that are working. There are things in the relationship that are still going well. Otherwise, you probably would not still be there. So take the time and notice those things. Notice the things that are going well. Acknowledge the things that are going well. If you're, even though your relationship is struggling, your partner is taking the time to do these things that they've done in the past or that they used to do, or maybe they are making an effort to improve things. Things are going well in whatever area of your relationship. Take the time and acknowledge those things. Encourage those things, because the more you acknowledge, the more you encourage those things, the more they are likely to continue to happen, the more they are likely that you and your partner are likely to continue to engage in those things that are working. So make time for them. 3, talk and make a plan for improvement. I mentioned how important it is to acknowledge that you are struggling. The reason you acknowledge that you are struggling is so that you can know that, hey, this is not going the way we want it to go. We need to do something about it. Once you have acknowledged that your relationship is struggling and that there are enough things going well in the relationship that it is worth saving, talk about it. Make a plan for improvement. The plan does not necessarily have to be the same. It's not going to be the same for everyone. Make a plan for your specific relationship, for the 2 people involved in your specific relationship. Talk about it. Whatever it is that you need to do, discuss what you're willing to do, what you need from your partner, and give your partner the opportunity to tell you the same thing. This is what I'm willing to do to save this relationship, and this is what I need from you. You need to have those conversations because a lot of times people expect that, well, he should know what we've been married for 30 years. She should know. No, you got one of those human models. You did not get one of those, mind reading type partners. So deal with the human person that you have who needs you to tell them, hey, this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I'm willing to put in. Have those conversations, make a plan so that you can work on repairing and healing your relationship so you can get back to, wherever you want to be. 4, be intentional about date nights and positive interactions. When a relationship is struggling, these are the things that often they're among the first things to go because I'm not really liking this person. I'm upset with this person. So why would I want to go on a date with him or her? Why would I want to spend positive time? Why am I going to praise this person after they did 3 bad things? Why am I going to praise them this one thing that they do, even though I like it, I appreciate it, and I think it's awesome? Be intentional about having those moments. You notice your partner did something for you. Be intentional about having that positive interaction of saying, hey, thank you for doing this for me. I appreciate it. You have, at the end of the week or at some point in the week, make it a point to spend some positive time with your partner. Because when the relationship is struggling, it's easy to notice all these bad things that are happening. It's easy to notice all the flaws in your relationship as well as in your partner. It's easy to see all the things that don't work. And if you are not being intentional about putting in some good, positive, filling that positive bucket, then there's not going to be a balance. It's going to be, hey, all these awful things are happening and you can't even see the good things that are happening. When you are intentional about having those positive interactions, having those date nights, you are creating that balance where you are able to remember that, hey, yes, we are struggling right now. However, we have all these good things that are going. Hey, I remember how this person makes me laugh. I remember what is so sweet about this person. Those being intentional about positive interactions, about date nights, will remind you of the reasons that you were together to begin with, will motivate you, will inspire you, will keep you interested in continuing to be in that, and continuing to do the things necessary to maintain that relationship. So create that balance. Be intentional about adding as much positive into the relationship as there are, negatives. Finally, get professional help if you need it. A lot of times people will go through the gamut. They will do every single thing and I want to repair my relationship. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Sometimes a relationship needs that professional intervention. And when you are at that space, get that professional intervention. The longer you wait, avoid it. The longer you wait and pretend that you don't need it, the longer you and your partner and your relationship are struggling. Taking the time to get professional help gives you an opportunity to address the issues that are causing a problem in your relationship. It gives you an opportunity to learn skills, to learn the tools that are necessary to save your relationship. If you need professional help, don't delay it. Take the time as soon as you realize, this may be a little bit more than we can handle. The moment you have the thought, look into it, explore it, see how professional help can assist you. Sometimes you need it, sometimes it just helps, but it's available, it's there. Many of us have access to it, but not enough of us are using it. So if that is something you need, take time and get it. Okay, let's do a quick recap. 1, admit that you're struggling because you cannot fight the enemy that you are pretending does not exist. 2, notice and acknowledge the good things, the things that are working in your relationship, because a lot of things are still going well. A lot of things are still working. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't still be there. So Take time and acknowledge so that you can encourage those positive working things to continue. 3, talk about and make a plan for improving your relationship. If you know your relationship is struggling, don't just wait and hope it fixes itself. Make an active plan to work on improving the relationship. 4, be intentional about date nights and other positive interactions, because it's easy to notice all the bad things that are happening, but you need to balance all those bad things that are naturally occurring with some positive things that you are intentionally putting in there to balance it out. And finally, if you need professional help, get it. It's there. It's available to you, and there are many resources that can help you. So if you need it, take the time and get it. There's no bonus. There's no reward for suffering longer and waiting longer before you get it. As soon as you notice that, or you think that you might need it, look into it and get it. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services who can assist with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need them, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.